Can you remember this pencil? I bought like a pack of it because I just like the vibe it gives. But that's a story for another day. Something more serious that I want to share with you guys today is that I had to quit my job majorly because of NYSC, and now I am making plans to move to a new city. And I'm filled with lots of uncertainty, fear, doubts, but I just want to gist you guys about how I am trying to find the peace in all of that, and also help myself reflect. But first, I want to let you know that my last YouTube video, that's the video that has the highest number of views so far on this channel, and you guys made that happen. I am so grateful for that. And because in that video I talked about how I stayed peaceful and sane while I was still at the NYSC Orientation Camp, I just thought to kind of update you guys how life has been, since then. Initially, right, I camped in Plateau State, Mango Camp, Plateau State. But the plan that I had was that I would be able to redeploy back to Ibadan, where my job is. I work as a content creator for an amazing recycling company, right? That was where I was working before. And I really enjoyed the job because that was the job that gave me the opportunity to be able to tell my parents that I'm not crazy to want to work as a content creator and not as an architect, right? So because of that, of course, I tried to redeploy back to Ibadan, but that did not work out. I was redeployed instead to Ogun State with the hope that maybe I would be able to work it back to Ibadan and I wouldn't have to, lose my job and all of that. But I was wrong. So when I got to Ogun State, especially Abeokuta, I was like, oh, this city is actually beautiful. It's actually amazing. And right there, I started having this, conviction, this kind of peace, and knowing that I should just stay here. Maybe I should just see what the Most High has for me in this city. But I was like, no. I kept thinking about the fact that, oh, I'm in a country where it's not like there's a job waiting for somebody anywhere. So if you have a job, the advice of everybody is like, oh, you better hold it tight. And I mean, I was working a job that I love, for God's sake. That's an opportunity, that's a privilege that I get to have. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to stay in Abeokuta. And the interesting part is that the place that I was posted to is a real estate firm. I finished as a student of architecture, and I've always been like, oh, I don't really want to do anything that is involved with architecture for the meantime, right? And even though I've had this conversation with the person that owns the place that I will be serving in, that, oh, why not let's walk around creating content around what you do, and I'm really hoping that that would work out. And my fears of that is that, oh, will I not have to be doing something related to architecture where all the trauma and all the, pain and all the feeling of, oh, I can't do enough, I'm not good enough comes back and all of that. And like, oh, how will I do it being far away from my loved ones? Will I be able to cope? Will I be able to be on my own for that long in a place where I don't really know people, where I would have to like start building a community again from scratch? And so I traveled to Abeokuta, I traveled back to Ibadan, traveled back to Abeokuta to Ibadan, and it was really starting to become so stressful. And I also started getting tired. So it got to a point where I was just like, okay, God, let your will be done. If it is Abeokuta, fine. If it is to go back to Ibadan, let it work out and all of that. So I just left everything into the hands of the Most High. And I don't really know what to expect in Abeokuta. I don't really know what life has for me. However, how I am, staying at peace with that is that I'm learning to let providence guide and direct me, right? This was a conversation that I was having with my grandpa. I would share the video very soon when I get to edit it again. Something that was really, really resonating, that kept resonating in the things that he shared, was that the providence of the Most High is always there to guide us and to keep us, and it's always there for us. And I'm learning to just trust that. That is what is really, giving me peace at the moment. And that's one thing about peace, right? Peace is not about things going exactly how you want. It's not about everything going smoothly, right? Peace and sanity is more about being resilient to what life throws at you. It's more about accepting the things that you can't control, right? But focusing on the things that you can control, right? It's more about finding stability and calm even in the storm of life, right? So that's basically what I'm trying to do at the moment. I'm already starting to get excited about it, right? Even though the uncertainty is still somewhere, but because I've noticed from my own life's journey that wherever we are directed by fear and we let uncertainty and doubt be the yardstick for our decisions, then it's almost always like we are limiting our potentials. But the thing is that once you notice that your intuition is at peace with you making a change, right? Once you notice that the Most High is dragging you to move into something new, to try something different, accept it, embrace it. Instead of thinking of, oh, what if it doesn't work out, think about what if it works out, and think about the fact that all of life is happening for you, all of life is happening for us. Life is never happening against us, and those are the things that I'm telling myself, that this situation is not happening against me. And of course, it's not really fair, especially because things are not too great financially for people, and to like leave your job or to leave a place where you have stability into a place where you are so unsure, uncertain, you have fears, you have doubts, and all of that. It's really a big ask, really. But if we can look outside of that for a moment and focus on what we can control instead of holding on to what we can't control, we can see the good in that, right? We can see that life is happening for us. And even though I'm not advising you to be complacent, but at the same time, I want you to consider the fact that maybe that thing that you are working so hard to have or to achieve, that place that you're working so hard to be in, maybe it's not really just for you. Maybe you are thinking too low of yourself. In fact, maybe you are limiting yourself. Maybe you are already thinking out of alignment, of what the Most High has in plan for you, right? Maybe as you're doing your thing, as you're believing, also trust providence to do its thing. Don't force things with the universe, right? Learn to let go even as you are learning to be resilient with achieving your dreams. Try to find the balance. And for me, like, I've tried to walk it back to Ibadan, but it didn't work out. And now I'm like, okay, okay, God,
Lord,
just have your
have
way.
your
Just have your way.
way.
And I hope that you would also be able to do the same. If you're interested in that, we can just say it together. You can place maybe your hand on your chest, or just close your eyes, or just anyhow you feel calm, right? And just say it after me, that life is not happening against me. Life is simply happening for me. I will learn to trust the leading and the careful guidance and direction of the Most High. Amen. And wish me the best. And yeah, I'm wishing myself the best too. I look forward to having you back on the next video, and I'm hoping that you would subscribe. If turning on notifications are your thing, please do that, because that's how you would be able to know when I upload new videos. And don't forget that it's possible to maintain your peace and sanity above all, even in this fast-paced, comparison-driven, anxiety-filled world. You just have to choose. And today, I'm encouraging you to choose your peace and sanity above all by trusting the providence of the Most High, and by just accepting that life is not happening against you. Life is simply happening for you. And yeah, stay peaceful.